Which of the classic 80s slasher villains would you be most worried that you have to deal with? I'm talking Michael Myers, I'm talking Jason Voorhees, Freddy Krueger, Chucky, Pinhead. Who else is in the 80s? That's like pretty big. Chucky? Really? Chucky, okay. What's your reason? What's your Pinhead? Yeah, no, Pinhead is a pretty big one to be worried about. I work with children. Okay, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. So you worried that one day that one of those dolls, which was like, started like, you know, walk around, maybe toss you out of the window, while having the laugh. Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. I personally, Chucky is my least worried one. I hate dolls. Like there's like Bill the doll from Dead Silence, but that's not the 80s. That's like early 2000s. I hate dolls in whole sections, but Chucky is the one where I'm like, I feel like I can handle him. But I think my biggest one that I'm worried about is Freddy Krueger. Because I always have like very vivid dreams. So him just popping into it and just having his way with it would be very easy. And then, you know, you're dying, dreaming, dying for real. And a Pinhead doesn't need an explanation. I mean, all you gotta do is not open the box. Because you know how it goes. The box. You opened it. We game. Of course, in future, the continuity of the movie lore, you don't even have to open the box and he will still show up somehow. But in the original Hellraiser, you have to play around with the box a little bit. So, now that we're all connected on our fears, Psychiatry chair. Here we go. That's our next SCP. Wait a minute. I used this image for one of my thumbnails. This one. Fuck! Because I used, it was like another chair that was like in a fucking cave, or like, damn it. We're fucking pyramid god. What? SCP-1892 is currently contained in the former hospital in MA. No fewer than 3 Foundation agents posing as security guards are to patrol the property twice daily to discourage civilian access. All entrances to the hospital building, as well as the entry point to the room containing SCP-1892, are to be filled with standard Foundation keycard locks. Hellraiser, you know. Were they? They did have a pyramid. Did they have a pyramid in Hellraiser 2? They did have one. You're right. I completely forgot about the pyramid. Testing is to be carried out using D-class subjects only. With the exception of scheduled testing, personnel are required to remain a minimum of 5 meters from SCP-1892 at all times. SCP-1892 is a chair located in the psychiatry wing of the former hospital. SCP-1892 exhibits no anomalous properties outside a distance of 2 meters. Upon entering the zone, subject will perceive an older male voice belonging to -1, encouraging them to sit in SCP-1892 and chastising them for being late to their appointment. Hey man, listen, I got traffic on my way here. Don't get mad at me for that. There's no need. Upon sitting in SCP-1892, subjects are able to visually perceive -1. Subjects have consistently described -1 as an elderly male wearing medical garb appropriate for a physician in the early 1940s. Testing has revealed -1 to possess considerable medical knowledge. though the entity has no knowledge of and will ignore medicine and techniques introduced later in 1944. Oh, he's an old school one. We do here the old ways. Which means I'm going to lobotomize you. What? Hold still! Once seated, subjects have proven incapable of leaving SCP-1892 until discharged by -1. -1's behavior towards the subjects depends primarily upon the subject's history of psychiatric illness. I've noticed that the entity has an uncanny ability to determine whether a subject genuinely suffers from a psychiatric disorder. Tests involving subjects with genuine psychiatric illness and subjects instructed to feign illness result in correct diagnosis by -1 in 96% of cases, a rate significantly higher than Foundation psychiatrists in similar tests. Can you imagine, like, you sit down in this chair thinking you're all good, and suddenly this guy's like, "Oh yeah, you got so much wrong with you," and you're there like, "What? What? No." Subject with no history of psychiatric illness report the entity subjecting them to a routine physical exam before being discharged. If a subject is diagnosed with a mild to moderate case of psychiatric illness, -1 will express concern, ask a series of follow-up questions, and write a prescription for one of the several opioids commonly used as antidepressant prior to the 1950s. And the footnote says, subject grade according to -1's instructions show no improvement over similarly treated subjects not exposed to SCP-1892. These scripts appear on the subject's person after they are discharged by -1 and are non-anomalous. Subject diagnosed with severe psychiatric illness, major depression, auditory visual hallucinations, etc. Report -1 muttering to itself before sighing and stating its intent to restrain the subject, citing a lack of alternative therapies. Oh god, the lobotomizing is going to happen, isn't it? Despite the lack of a physical mechanism, subjects are immediately immobilized in a manner consistent with wrist, ankle, and head restraint. Subject will vocalize extreme distress for a period of 5 to 7 minutes, after which they become tranquil and are discharged by -1. After exposure, these subjects demonstrate marked reduction in emotionality, motivation, interest. Subjects show little to no desire or ability to plan for escape and will only react to immediate stimuli. Following monthly termination, analysis of subjects affected in this manner revealed lesions in the frontal lobe. I fucking knew it! Consist with those of a transorbital lobotomy. I called it. I called it, guys. I'm not surprised. Oh yeah, this was written when the whole D-class are killed at the end of the month thing was still a thing. Lobotomy? You don't even know me. Yeah, like, was like, okay, so was the termination for D-class was end of the month? That seems weird, because like I'm pretty sure in series 1 there were a bunch of D-class that were mentioned that was like alive for years. Cause like I remember the one SCP that was like explaining that like there's a whole like sand desert dimension inside the Foundation. There was one D-class that they asked, and he's like, oh, because of his like monthly well cooperation, he stayed for years. Anyways, early writers did not know jack about how much death row prisoners there are in the world. Yeah, I mean, fair enough. It does seem a bit like they would lose so many people if it was a monthly thing. Like, of course you could argue like, oh, what if the SCP Foundation world has just a lot more people committing crime? Then I'm like, then why the fuck would you even try to, like, you know, save the world if half the planet commits crimes anyway?